Hello, this is Maria with another video for the MP Designs class to go, the Christmas card class. And the card below, this is the Fun Fold card. This is one of about 4 cards that are for the class. We'll call this one a modified Trifold with an attached A2 card. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Anyway, this is what it looks like, opened up and closed. And again, we're going to be using the Word of Cheer stamp with its coordinating die. So let's get going. We'll get the parts. Now to speed up the process, I have completed some of the card, but I wanted to show you how to make the fold, which is this undecorated. Now, I'm not going to go through the scoring and the cutting, but what I will show you is, and this will be included in your kit when you purchase the kit for this class, there is a template. And I just wanted to show you that it's 5 1/4 by 11 is your base card. And when you put it in your trimmer or on your score blade, you're going to score it at 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7 on the long side. Now, then you're going to turn it in your trimmer. And with the edge of the trimmer at the 1 1/4 inch mark, you're going to cut from the 1 3/4 to the 5 1/4 mark. You're going to cut this, and you're going to do the same on this side. Now, I found it easiest to just turn it over and use your score marks as a guide. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this with the trimmer, you can use an X-Acto knife or whatever means you can use for cutting. But this will be scored and cut for you. And this is what, like I said, this is what it will look like. It's mossy metal. That is the base. And I'll just it will be out flat like this or probably folded out. And I just want to quickly show you how to fold it. Here's one that I haven't folded yet. And if you just take these, there's one score line, 2, 3, 4. And if you take this second score line and you just pop it up, you pop up this middle part right here, push those back, push that back, fold it up like this, and then fold this in the middle. And then with your bone folder, make sure that you burnish the folds well. Now, some people will call this a pop-up card because this pops up. So basically, grab it by here, push this back, pull the pop-up up, and then just let the card fold on itself. So we'll do that, and then we can start decorating. Now, all the pieces that you need to decorate this card will be in your kit. I'll just get this all apart here. And like I said, I have decorated some of it already, just for the sake of time, as I did a video without doing that, and it ended up being too long. But then sometimes I tend to be a little long-winded anyway. You didn't hear me say that. Okay, so here is the base card, and I've got some of it decorated. Okay, we're going to be using, I keep on forgetting the name of this designer paper. Okay, why don't I just get the paper? Heartwarming Hugs. I don't know why I keep on forgetting that, but okay, Heartwarming Hugs designer paper. And we're using about 3 different patterns. And so it's the pattern paper, and then it's matted with Pear Pizzazz. So we add the 2 together and then add it to the card base. So we're also going to die cut the word cheer with gold foil, and then the individual letters with the red velvet paper. And another new thing from the catalog are these snowflakes. that are already die cut for you, and they're almost like iridescent, and that'll be put on this card as well. Now, one nice feature about this card is that, yes, it is an A2 here, but on the end of it is a little A2 card, and we'll do some stamping in that as well. Okay, let's finish decorating this, and I'm going to get my trusty Stampin' Seal. Now, it's been about a month since I've done a video because I had surgery on my neck, so if I tend to forget a few things, please forgive me. Okay. Now, here is the other, all the measurements, by the way, for the designer paper and the mat will be on a PDF, which will look something like this. So all the measurements will be there, plus the measurements will be on the description of the video on YouTube. So it's the same measurements on both of these sides. Then we have these little ones down here. And like I said, all of the measurements will be in the PDF, and all of these will be pre-cut for you. Isn't that wonderful that you don't need to worry about that? So now on this pop-up portion, it's a little bit different here because yes, there are 2 pieces of Pear Pizzazz, but only one of them is matted with some designer paper. The other one, I'll show you what's done with that. And so there's a piece of basic white matted with Pear Pizzazz, and that actually is added right to this second part of the pop-up, and we will decorate that. Sorry, just going to move this up. You can see what's going on. Now, it's not exactly square, so you make sure that the long side is not up, that the longer side is extending out a little bit, and that it's not matching exactly. Now, it's supposed to go over this, okay? Now, on that, just to show you my sample card, see, we're working on this portion right here. And what I have done is I've die cut this red velvet with the, and this white with the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And these will be die cut for you. And what you'll need to do is to gold emboss or stamp whatever you wish the word Christmas on the die cut. And I have adhered those together. I've also made a bow with this lovely, this is one of my favorite ribbons, the red shimmer organza ribbon. So I have put that all together, and I'm just going to add this to here. And then all I have to do is add these, and I'll do that at the end. Now, before I finish with this, I have die cut the word cheer, and the individual letters are with the same as this red paper, and I've done all of them except 2. So I'm just going to add those together, and I've tried different ways of doing it, and I'm just found that the Tombow seems to be the best. It's a little messy. See if I can find my silicone pad. Here it is. I'll get the Tombow started, and just some very, very small amount. And I find if you just smear it or spread it with your finger, whatever. Just bring it here, okay, and just match it up here. So that's the H. I just have to do the E. Here it is. There, whoops. There now. Doesn't that look pretty? I love the red and the gold together. And we'll add that to the card front. And again, all of these will be die cut for you. It's a matter of you just have to put it together. That's one nice advantage of the Class to Go. You have the PDF, you have the video, and you have everything all cut for you, die cut for you, etc. Scored. Now we've got these little die cuts here. We'll just add those now, and I have put them on a little dish because they have a habit of disappearing. And I use my picket tool. There's some putty at the end, and I will just pick up what I need. See how easy that was? And I'm just going to take, I hope this works okay. I'm going to lay this down. My fingers are still not 100% since the surgery, so, okay. I know I said it was my neck, but it was affecting my hands. The problem with my neck. It's a little bit much. Okay. And I'll put one right there. And I don't know if you noticed the die cuts, these little die cuts. These do not have little projections on the end. They just look like bare branches. And the ones that are here have the little, oh, we'll call them little balls on the end. So we'll get the other one. Now, you just put some adhesive on that you feel comfortable using. There. Now, while I'm at it, I might just as well put the gilded gems on, and then I don't forget. Sometimes I do tend to forget that step. Not that I mean to. There. I love these gilded gems, and it's perfect for this particular card with this designer paper. The red, the gold, and the green. Perfect. Okay, now you'll notice that in this card I stamped the word Christmas, but on the sample I gold embossed it. So, you know, if you want to gold emboss it, you can go ahead and do that. All right, now for the little A2 card, which is at the end, I think the first thing I'm going to do is the front here. And I've got a piece of the red velvet paper, and I have the snowflake here. Now, let me show you the snowflakes. They come in a package like this. They're called Wonderful Snowflakes, and there are 24 in the package. And they come in a sheet like this, but you will have yours individually cut in your package. But they have this wonderful iridescent. Now, if you don't want the white, you can color it with your brush or aqua painter. I kind of like it the way it is. So you just gently take it away from its package. just gently, because it is fragile. Yeah, and you could use that for something, I'm sure. And what I'll do is I'll lay it here upside down, and the way that I'm going to add the glue to this is I have this, and you're saying, oh, what is this? Okay, I have a sponge, and I have glue in there, Tombow glue, and I'll just add a little bit extra, and I'll put glue on here, and then I'll just tap the Tombow on the back here, and then I'll add this right to the center and just let that dry for a bit. Now, wasn't that easy? Now put the lid back on here. It stays quite soft in an airtight container. And get my little card here. So this card, this is a basic white card. It's 5 by 7.5, scored at 3 3/4, and so it's a nice little card for the end. Okay, these are some things for the inside. Okay, now I'll add that to the front. Just move my silicone mat. And I'll use Tombow for that, just in case my snowflake is still a little wet. Add that to the center. Okay, it's probably a good idea to lay this down and see how the pop-up goes over top. You want to make sure that your red mat does not show. Okay, I have to move that down a wee bit. Perfect. Okay. Now, before I add that to the card, I want to do some stamping on the inside. And I'm going to make little poinsettias. I know, sometimes I'm crazy. There are stars as part of your dies, and I'm going to make little poinsettias out of the stars. So I'm going to use Real Red ink, Mossy Meadow, and Pear Pizzazz. You use whatever colors of green that you have. Now, the base is the stamp that looks just like this. Okay, you would never have thought that, right? Okay, now I have stamped 2 of them already, but I'm going to stamp off because I've recently re-inked that ink pad, and I'll just stamp it off, and then I'll stamp, and that's my flower base. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to stamp the leaf. And there are 2 stamps for that, the outline stamp and the inside stamp. This is the outline, little holly leaves, and then there's the filler stamp, which I'm going to stamp with Pear Pizzazz. I'm just going to close this up so I don't get my elbows in it. And again, I'll stamp off. And it doesn't matter if they don't match exactly, or if you go over the lines. You do the best you can, and it saves coloring. And there is the stamping for the flower. Now, the Real Red is actually for the sentiment. Now, the rest of the flower is made with, okay, where did my little container? Here we go. And these are die cut with the red velvet again. And there is the other part of the flower. Okay, we'll get a little Tombow. Get a little bit of glue. And again, use the putty end just to hold on to it. Get a little glue on it. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's like little points here. And I just match up these little points. See that? Okay. If you don't, no worry. And then I alternate the petals. And there you have a poinsettia made with stars. Okay, now let's do the sentiment while we're there. And I'll stamp that with real red ink. You can do it with other colors if you want. And I'll just check it to make sure that's okay. Yep. Okay. Whoops. That would have ruined my card. Wishing you a joyful Christmas. Now there's, just move these snowflakes out of the way. It's a little strip of paper that is going on the inside. Right here. Don't forget your scissors out at the same time. And yeah, I think I'll do Tombow. And I always, the strip will be longer than what you need. And I always do that on purpose. So don't put it right to the end. A little bit from the end. I should, my silicone pad here. And then a piece of gold foil, and that just ties everything together. There. And then on the other side, oops, make sure that that's down. Just trim off the ends. And that's your A2 card. Now there are a little decorations. We'll add these as well. And these are, I've alternated the two types. Again, it doesn't really matter. And this pick tool is invaluable to me. You know how you have a favorite tool? This one, this is my favorite tool. There. Now we can add that to our card base. And I'll use Tombow again. Perfect. So there's our card. Oh, that wasn't that bad, was it? Okay, so this is my card. This is the sample. I think they look pretty good, except for the sentiment, which is done a little bit differently. Now the envelope, you can choose to do it this way, or you can stamp a few poinsettias on there. I have the paper already cut, so I might just as well go ahead and decorate the envelope. You know, when I was recovering from my surgery, I got a lot of get well cards. And, you know, I must admit, it's really nice to be on the receiving end. And the cards were lovely. And one thing I really enjoyed was looking at the different ways the envelopes have been decorated. So it really makes a difference to the recipient when they receive a card that has the envelope decorated. It's just a little extra touch to say that you care. So at Christmas time, which is a time where, you know, you are giving and you care for people, this is a perfect time to do that. So there we have our fun fold card for the Christmas card class. And it is the altered or modified trifold with the attached A2 card. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. There's one more video in the series. Thank you for watching.